let's speak about Java Microsoft. Okay, it's opportunities to learn about uh, this important language. Okay, and the more informations uh, about the interview questions. Okay, and you can improve your Java interview. Okay, and let's go. The introduction is Java Microservices, okay, a practical guide to interview preparations, okay, and about the first questions, okay, basic concepts, okay. Let me see. Can you read, please, Lorenzo?
So basic concepts, microservice architecture and how does it differ from monolithic architecture? Microservice architecture is an approach to software development where an application is composed of small independent services that communicate over a network. Each service is responsible for a specific functionality and can be developed, deployed, and scaled independently. Monolithic architecture. So in monolithic architecture, we have a single unified code base. All functionalities are tightly coupled, and it's easier initial development but harder to scale and maintain. And in microservice architecture, we have multiple loosely coupled services, and services can be developed and deployed independently, easier to scale and maintain. So, for example, in a monolithic application, a single code base might handle user authentication, product catalog, and order processing. In a microservices architecture, these functionalities would be split into separate services: an authentication service, a catalog service, and an order service.
Okay,
So, just talking about my work and my and where I work, we don't have much microservices, so we just have a monolithic architecture. So it's I think the microservices are very easier to scale.
okay.
And Lorenzo, do you think that for your scenario, like your application, do you think that using microservices would improve
For
your
sure,
like
but
development cycle?
we work with a application from like 25 years ago. It's very old. So at that time we didn't have we did we I was in the I wasn't in the company, so I can't say we, but the people who are working, they didn't have the knowledge. So nowadays it wasn't going to it will be going a lot easier to people to work with. So yeah.
Yeah, I just asked that because sometimes, yeah, like probably microservices are a good approach for some scenarios, but depending on like the application, the domain you are working on, maybe monolithic approach it's like enough, you know. So I was just asking because of that. But yeah, like you said, if it has like 20 years, maybe it got so big that now it's really hard to maintain, right? So probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You could struggle some microservices from this monolithic application and transforming a little bit in microservices. But that's a good way to improve the life of the application, to
Yeah,
make
for
it
sure.
maintainable. For example,
Uh, but yeah, we work with like 20 developers, so it's very hard to do this step, but yeah, it would be great.
I work with a 25-year-old application, and I'm the only developer
Oh my god.
who maintain
I
this
think
this shit.
it's depends on the applications. For example, uh, if you can use a microservices or monoliths, okay. But uh, I don't know what's the better, um, but it
I
depends
was on. I'm
many
sorry.
facts, many other
I,
things. For example,
yeah, man. I was on TDC last week, and I saw the lecture of Sergio Lopes, and he told us that when we are conceiving an idea, a new application, we should start by monolithic applications. And as far as it grows, you can split in microservices. But for simplicity, the better way is to begin with the monolithic architecture.
in my opinion, I can't explain very well about Microsoft because I didn't have the opportunities to work with Microsoft applications in many projects. The application is monolith, okay. But in my personal project is uh, I studied a little about these applications with the microservices. Okay, and the next topic, the next questions is benefits of using Microsoft, Murilo.
Well, when we talk about microservices, we need to talk about like how a person like stores all the information in their heads about an application, right? Because like this example that Lorenzo said, like a 20 years old application, it's really big because like many years of people developing and everything. So it got really big, right? And then if you have to keep all the like the corner cases of this application in your mind, like all the flows and everything, it's really hard, right? So when we split it in microservices, we tend to keep it like smaller, so it's easier to like keep these concepts in your mind. And also there's a thing they call it. I think it's called Conway's law. So it's a kind of like a law, Conway's law, which says that usually the applications in your company are structured based on all the teams you have in your company. So, like, if you have many teams in your company, like, I don't know, 10 teams in your company, maybe it's a good idea to have like five, six different repositories, different applications. So all these teams can work and the changes that we are doing in the application don't conflict with each other.
Okay,
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, 100%. Every team should have its own application to work on, and everybody has a job to do,
okay,
and I think the application grows faster.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine this case, this 20 years application, and 10 teams working on the same application. Like they will start to change things in the
And
same,
it will
like
be a mess
many
then.
teams changing the same code and everything, and then conflicts will start to happen, and it will be really
Yeah,
hard to move forward.
I
Okay.
feel like the team I work with, like 78% of the time, they passed. They spend just doing corrections in the code, so it's very bad. We don't have time to improve the code to do all the new features that we need to do. So it's very very bad.
Yeah, and I feel that for this case, we need to start thinking like, yeah, it's a monolith, it's big, it has 20 years, right? So should we start creating a few other services? I won't call it microservices, I would just call other services, right? And moving features to these services and letting some specific teams or some specific developers to work on these services, maybe it's a good idea, right? Because
Yeah, I
you'll
think
be
so.
splitting the team. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Tommy. Good evening, Ricardo. Okay, welcome.
Good
Uh,
evening.
the next
Good e-
questions. Okay. The benefits of using Microservices. Can you read, please? Let me see, Tommy, please.
Yeah. Benefits of using microservices. Scalability. Each microservice can be scaled independently based on its load. Flexibility in technology. Different services can use different technologies suited to their needs. Independent deployment services can be deployed independently, reducing deployment time and complexity. Improved fault isolation. Failure in one service does not necessarily affect others. Easier maintenance. Smaller code bases are easier to understand and modify.
Okay. What's your opinion about the benefits of using Microsoft?
I use microservices in my application that I work on, and I think it's very useful because I can deploy just one module. I don't have to deploy all the modules together, and I think I can do different changes on different modules, and they don't affect each other. So it's very useful, and I think every application in Java should use microservices.
Okay, thanks. The next topics, okay, is main challenges when working with microservices. Let me see. João, can you read, please? Or
Sure thing, Paul. Just mind to give it a bit of zoom, please, like last time. Just to zoom in a bit. My glasses are not working proper. Need to change the lenses.
If you can zoom,
Yeah, zoom in a
yeah,
bit.
uh,
okay,
yep, nice.
More than enough. Thank you. Well, the first part of the complexity for a microservice is mapping multiple services, introduce complexity in the development and the deployment. Management, maintaining data consistency across services can be challenging. Inter-service communication. Services need to communicate efficiently and reliability. And testing. End-to-end testing can be more complex compared to monolithic applications, and monitoring requires robust monitoring to track the health and the performance of each service. Well, I can talk about the last topic about monitoring. I used to work in a project which used microservices, not in Java, but in C Sharp with .NET. And at the beginning of the project, it did not have any monitoring tool like a Grafana, uh, maybe some custom alerts in Slack, and it really was a pain in the neck. So I'd say this is one of the challenges from working with microservices, plus guaranteeing that the application would be at least 9%, 99% of the time up. For example, if a module breaks, how can we retry like a circuit break button and reframe that another external services, which depends on that, do not breaks as well.
Okay.
Nice, Ron. Just just want to add something. Um, like you said, and Temi said, like probably we should be using microservices all the time. I
There's
do
no
agree
such thing
that.
as a silver bullet. I beg to differ,
Yeah,
mate.
exactly. Like microservices are great when you want to split the domains and keep responsibilities splitted, but it comes with a lot of other concerns, right? Like you say, observability. If we have a request coming in, it goes to one service, then to another, then to another, then to another. How do you keep great observability on what's going on, what's happening? And also, when we talk about like CI/CD, DevOps, we do need like many pipelines. Are we using like Kubernetes or something to manage the infrastructure or something? So yeah, microservices are great, but no silver bullets, right? It's depends on what you are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For example, if you were developing a simple webhook application or just a simple CRUD for whatever reason, does not make sense to use microservices. And just to be clear, I'm not a hater of microservices. I'm just saying that it ain't no bulletproof. It ain't no silver bullet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's some situation that Microsoft fits better.
Exactly.
It always depends. That's the sentence.
It's a
And that's
secret.
how we know we are becoming seniors in our career. It always depends. There's no single
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
Yeah, there's another problem in microservices. Like you're making some payment in the last microservices, your request crashes. So you need to roll back all the transactions that you have done in the database. So it's really a pain in the ass, I know, to inform the other microservices to roll back their transactions, and the client will make another request, and if it was not done, it probably will process two times, you know.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
distributed transaction management. There
And
are
then potentially, I don't remember how to say it in
hierarchies
English.
and some stuff, but it's really hard, man. It's really hard to track it.
Okay. How to implement microservices in Java, Ricardo?
Microservices in Java are commonly implemented using frameworks such as Spring Boot and Spring Cloud. These frameworks provide the necessary tools and libraries to build, deploy, and manage microservices efficiently. A simple Spring Boot microservice can be created as follows. We have a piece of code with the main application, main method, annotated with Spring Boot application, and the call to Spring Boot.run. Then we have a, how do I say,
Okay. And the other person can explain about this example, please.
It's mapping the the endpoint API to API and hello to make the hello world.
Okay. Anyone?
Yeah. So basically, when we are talking about applications, we usually have to map like endpoints, which is the place where like requests get in your application. It doesn't really mean that this is a microservice, right? But usually that's how we do it. And to be a microservice, probably these endpoints will be related to the domain that the application handles.
Okay. Uh, Framework is used for building microservices in Java. Let me see. Lorenzo?
So frameworks used for building microservices in Java. Spring Boot simplifies the development of standalone production grade Spring applications. Spring Cloud provides tools for building common patterns in distributed systems, for example, configuration management, service discovery. Drop Wizard, a Java framework for developing RESTful web services, and Micronaut, a modern JVM-based framework for building microservices and serverless applications. So what I can add is that if I'm going to apply for this job interview, I think I'm in trouble because I only know Spring Boot in a monolithic way. I don't know too much about microservices, and I think I need to study it a little bit more.
Well, but do you know about some of the projects behind the Spring umbrella, like
Yeah, yeah,
Spring Data, Spring MVC? If
yeah.
you
I
do,
know of them.
yeah, if you do, it's basically that. Like it's like yeah, if you are
It's just a
building a monolith or a microservice, it's not really about which project you are using, like data, MVC, or anything.
mm,
It's just about how you split these applications, right? So I think you're good.
and them communicating between one with each other. It's like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Just making HTTP, most of the time it's HTTP requests. Now they are talking now it's there's a hype about like gRPC and other protocols, but basically it's
Mm,
HTTP.
all right.
And the Spring Boot and its role in simplifications microservices development. Let me see. Vinicius?
Oh, okay. Spring Boot and its role in simplification microservices development. Spring Boot is an extension of Spring Framework that simplifies the setup and development of new Spring applications. It provides the full configuration and embedded services, reducing boilerplate code and configuration. Example, Spring Boot allows you to start a new project quickly with the following main class. So you have a class, static void main method, as many Java applications annotated with Spring Boot application. That is the entry point of the program in Java and indicates that is the entry point of the Spring Boot application as well. So that's basically it. to bootstrap a Spring Boot application.
Okay. And how to handle service discovery in Java microservices? Tommy, can you hear me, Tommy?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Service discovery is handled using tools like Eureka, Console, or Zookeeper. These tools help microservices communicate each other dynamically, using Eureka for service discovery. And next we have a XML with a dependency of Spring Framework Cloud and Artifact ID Spring Cloud Starter, Netflix, Eureka Client, and a main method uh, annotated with enable Eureka Client. I don't really know about this Eureka, so I don't have an opinion about it. But if anyone knows and can explain for us, it would be very helpful.
Okay, anyone can explain about this?
Services, but let me give my 2 cents here. Recently, Jaqueline Oliveira came here this community and explained for us some basic points of microservices. I recommend you to go to YouTube and watch it. It's a it's a good video to watch and learn. That's it.
Yes, it's a good recommendations for watching these important subjects. Okay, and to learn about microservices. Okay.
Yeah, but basically it's like imagine that you have two services. So an order service where you create orders and like a notification service that sends emails to the customers. So how the order service will call the notification service, right? Imagine that you have many instances of each. So you have three servers running the order service and three servers running the notification service. You don't know the instances. One way of handling that, the simplest way would be having like a load balancer with a DNS in front of it. But another is like having this service discovery. So like every instance registers itself in this service discovery. And then like when the order service have to call the notification service, it first sends a request to the discovery service, which in this case is Eureka, saying, hey, what are the notification service servers? Oh, we have these three that are up now. You can call any of them, and then you, as order service, call one of them. So it's basically like keeping track of all the instances you have in your environment.
Oh, yeah, I understood it. But in my applications, I usually use the XML to just put the dependency of each microservice that I want to use. So if I declare that dependency, I can communicate with different modules. So I don't really, I never used it directly before, but I think it's really good.
No, yeah, it's a way of doing, and that's totally fine. But when you get into like an environment that gets really big with many, many microservices and everything, it starts to get like complex. So a way of handling that would be this service discovery.
I beg your pardon by my ignorance, but does the Oracle use reflections behind the scenes to discover, or it's compile the time stuff?
Yep. It's all about health checks.
Oh, okay, health
Yeah,
checks. Now I got it.
yeah. So
Uh,
if you are up, you have both the dependency of Eureka on the Eureka server and a Eureka client on every application. So every application sends a request to the server saying, "Hey, I'm up. Let anyone that wants to call me call me."
Okay.
Neat, understood. The only thing I have now to add is just I'm quite mesmerized to know that Zookeeper can be used for that as well. I thought Zookeeper was just like a complementary service for Apache Kafka, nothing
Yeah,
more.
everyone thinks that because most of the time we hear about Zookeeper when we are talking about Kafka, right? But
Yeah,
in
I know
fact,
that.
Kafka doesn't use it anymore. Kafka has its own service discovery feature now.
Yep, I guess by
Mhm.
Kafka 4.0 or 3.9,
Mhm.
something like that. But I tried to spin up a container instance to use this feature, but could not manage to get it working. So I just decided to go back to Zookeeper. Well, live and learning.
Okay. Good evening, Adriano. Welcome. The next question is what is Netflix Eureka and how is it used in Spring Cloud? Let me see.
Oh, I think we just
Okay.
discussed this one, Renato. This is what I was talking about, so maybe we can just
Maybe just skip. Yeah, do I
move
agree?
to the next.
Okay. The next question is how do microservices communicate with each other? Let me see. Ricardo.
Microservices communicate with each other using synchronous protocols, HTTP, REST, gRPC, or asynchronous protocols, message brokers like Kafka or RabbitMQ.
Okay. Um, and the role of an API gateways in microservices, Lorenzo.
An API gateway acts as a reverse proxy routing client requests to the appropriate microservices. It provides cross-cutting concerns such as authentication, logging, rate limiting, and more. So let me ask. I think the guys here knows more than I about microservices. About Kafka and Rabbit M key that we talked about. Does these technologies are about messaging and does it is related about and is it related about microservices? How they work? I don't know if you got it.
I got a
Yeah.
question. Sorry, Vinicius, can go first.
Oh, thank you. Uh, let's think. When one microservices wants to communicate with other, and it needs the response as soon as possible, it will send a HTTP request. And if it doesn't need, it can just send a message, and the other application will process later when it receives. So it's all about communication. Even HTTP or messaging, the microservices are communicating in his proper way.
So it's another way to communicate. Instead of using HTTP, we are using messaging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
There is an example that I can give. Few months ago, I did an educational development, let's say, let's call like that, with microservices that was service A, which well, just how can I say it? Uh, Makes an initial process of a CSV file, like